Shall we pick up where we left off?
Hey! You're up early.
Yes, I had some daylight errands to attend to. How are you doing, Mia?
Great! Check it out!
Motherfucker. Motherfucker, I forgot to unmute myself. Oh no. Oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no! I forgot to unmute myself, no! Oh god, okay. Yeah, hi Mega, how's it going? You having a good morning? I am still waking up despite having my coffee. Oh god, oh god, oh god, I forgot to unmute myself. No, I wasn't just playing in silence. I was eating, I was reading, I swear. I'm doing okay. I don't have work today, so I'm absolutely ecstatic. Which is why I'm streaming right now, because I had a work week. I had a work week. Actually, no, more than a work week, actually. 11 days. I worked 11 days in a row. No days off. I mean, granted, they weren't long days, but they were still days without days off. I'm trying to make the most of it. Right? Yeah. So it didn't really register because they were 2 weeks separated. But 1 week was like 36 and the other was 32. But I think if you like, you know, put it all together, like, okay, if they weren't separated by week blocks, it would be like what, 60-ish hours. Which is, I'm gonna get paid a lot. I'm gonna get paid a lot. That's for sure. That's for damn sure. I hope I get paid a lot. Also, I have an interview tomorrow for another job. Because, oh my god, this one's going off the rails. Because, woo! Remember the manager that I said quit? Yeah, no, she unquit. I didn't know you could do that. Yeah, she unquit. And I don't know how to feel about that. Plus, oh yeah, we also had a visit from our district manager yesterday. And when she got there, she was like, oh yeah, by the way, the regional manager is going to be coming over. And I almost lost my shit until I came up with a plan. If you didn't see Twitter. So, when the regional manager got there, it was about, what, 1 o'clock? So, that was... Yeah, I'm so glad I'm moving on. But, yeah, the regional manager got there, and it was about 1 o'clock. I hadn't had my break yet. So, oh, you saw the tweet, okay. Yeah, so that's what I did. I went to a local... maybe I should correct myself there. I got lost trying to get to that ice cream place because, yeah, your boy doesn't have the greatest sense of direction. I got lost on a 2-mile path because I remember the last time I went there, I had to go over a bridge, and I forgot exactly how long I had to go along that bridge until I turned off, you know? So, I'm going along, I'm like, okay, maybe I'm going too far, maybe I don't know where I'm going. I turned off there, and it took me about 20 minutes to actually get back on the path. No, it took me 10 minutes to pull over, look at Google, and be like, oh, duh. Yeah, that's what Google's Maps is for, but you know me, I am a prideful being. I am a very prideful being, and it took me a while to actually pull up Google Maps. Yeah, so it turns out I went way off the path and I was already like 10 minutes away from it. But you wanna know what the worst part about it is? You wanna know what the worst part about it was? It was the street, like, just a couple hundred feet in front of me that I was supposed to turn off of. Same way too. And so I turned one turn too early and I got completely lost. And my manager, my assistant manager, she's the one who told me about the ice cream place. When I told her about it, she gave me the most pitiful look. Like, oh my god, this man is helpless. Oh god, I am really helpless. I'm not gonna lie. I am just a tiny bit helpless. I have to admit. And I do have to correct something. So that entire time I was I had to come clean with something. That entire time I was trying to avoid the regional manager, right? It turns out he didn't actually come. The district manager said he'd be coming, and then I go to the ice cream place. I come back about 20 minutes later. He's not there. He wasn't gonna come. He's just coming today, when I'm not at work. And so, I mean, it points to me for the idea, but he just didn't come. Never came. I don't know. All for naught in the end. Okay, but counterpoint. I got a banana split. out of the deal. Yeah, I got a banana split out. Bear in mind, by the time I got back to the store, ate my lunch, it was about 25% melted. That it was a little bit melted, but I wasn't gonna complain. It's banana split. That's a banana split. Pretty good. Although I do admit I could probably make a better one myself. I could probably make a better one myself from ingredients with ingredients from the store. Actually, no, we don't have bananas. We don't have produce. Actually, come to think of it, it would not be cheaper. I'm better off just going back to the ice cream stand. But anyways, let's get back to the game. I offer the paper to Juliet, who looks over it with a smile.
Great job! I'm very proud of you.
Thank you, Juliet.
Thanks. I'm proud of me too.
Yay.
What kind of errands are you running? Need any help?
Oh?
Not this time. I'm just making a couple deliveries that can't wait until the evening. Will you be alright here by yourself?
I think so.
Yep. I think I've got the hang of everything by now.
Good job, Miho. I'm pretty used to handling my duties on my own. there was ever a problem, it wouldn't be hard to go find Juliet to get her help. That hasn't happened yet, thankfully.
Excellent. I know I've said it before, but you've been a great help around the library. I appreciate your hard work.
Oh, it's not that hard. Besides, it gives me something to do.
That's nice to hear. But don't forget to take some time for yourself, and have fun every now and then, though.
Will do. I think that's some advice that Juliet herself should follow more often, but I keep that opinion to myself.
I will. Actually, I'm going to the
Oh,
museum
this is
after this.
This is the museum arc.
Aspen told me there's an exhibit all about Korea going on there. So, I'm hoping maybe I'll learn something useful.
Useful?
Yeah, like about my person.
Oh, I see.
Hey, I see that look. I see that look. I see that look. I heard that. I heard that tone, Juliet. Sussy. Sussy, Julie. Juliet gives me the same small smile that Aspen did when I mentioned my person yesterday. I know they think it's probably hopeless, but I can't give up. I don't understand how they don't understand, since both of them always talk about caring for those close to you and making lasting bonds. Still, Aspen and Juliet have both done too much for me to hold that against them. Go. Wrong thing.
Well, I wish you the very best of luck. You know you can always ask me for help if you need any.
I know. Thanks.
Anytime. I'm going to head out now, but I'll make sure to come back early enough for you to go to Te-Papa.
Woo, Te-Papa time!
Sounds good. I'll keep studying and working until then. Bye!
Te-Papa time!
Goodbye, Miho.
Goodbye, Juliet. As Juliet goes out the front door, she pops her parasol open to protect her from the sun, and strolls out and joins the day's crowds. I like that. You know, I didn't notice that during the first one. When Juliet's sprite turned around, she opened the parasol. That's a pretty neat, detail. That's a pretty neat detail right there. I stare at the now closed door, thinking, wonder if Aspen or Juliet have ever felt the same way about someone as I have about my person. Hard feeling to describe. It's something warm. I may have forgotten a lot over the years, but I've never forgotten their face or voice, or the way they smelled. Like charcoal and paint. All those things are too important to forget. Kept me going my whole life. Been my entire reason for existing. At least until arriving in Wellington, anyway. You know, with my new life here, I can't just abandon my old one. Not entirely. Maybe they just don't know how much it means to me. I couldn't blame them since I told them all about how little I cared about everything else. Maybe they think it's like a hobby, something to pursue when I have nothing else to do. But even here in the library, surrounded by friends and busying myself with my job, not a day goes by where I don't think of that course back in Korea, and my person. You know what? It's okay if Aspen and Juliet don't understand. They don't need to. It's important to me, and that's all that matters. So far, they've supported me in whatever I do. In fact, when I think about those two, I feel a similar way as when I think about my person. That warm, safe feeling. Not exactly the same, but it's close. I don't think that's a coincidence. There have been lots of new feelings that I don't quite have words for. Like so many other parts of myself, I'm still figuring them out. That may take time, but I have plenty of it. Realizing that I've zoned out, I pull myself away from my thoughts and get back to focusing on work and studying. I may have lots of time, but I need to make sure I use it well. Amen to that. Oh yeah, I also got glasses. Let's put them on and if actually since I have my PNG plastered to my model, can't really tell if I'm looking at anything, can you? Facing stuff. I don't really need eye tracking for this. Eye tracking for these lovely, beautiful dots. Yeah, I have glasses. Deal with it. Only an hour or two later, I look up from my work Juliet returning from her errands. Holding up her parasol, she soon joins me at the front desk again.
Hello again, Miho. I tried to hurry back so you'd have plenty of time at the museum.
Thank you, Juliet.
You can go ahead and head off. I can handle the library for the rest of the day.
Cool, thanks. I tried to clean up and do as much as I could before you got back.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Enjoy yourself. You'll have to tell me all about it when you get back.
What a diligent little fox.
Will do.
I put away my study materials in my room, and then with a big thumbs up to Juliet, leave the library.
Fresh air again.
I've been spending so much time inside since I started working. My walks and time outside are more refreshing than they used to be. Birds singing sound prettier. Scent of food wafting up from town smells tastier. And I'll bet even this grass would feel softer if I was in my fox form to see. It's been a long time since I transformed, now that I think about it. I need to stay focused for today, though. With the museum is the only thing on my mind, I pick up my pace as I walk into Wellington, heading along the now familiar streets. I pass by the bell house and glance inside, but I don't see Aspen. She mentioned that she'd be working late today, so she must be in the back, or maybe on a break. I followed the directions she gave me yesterday until I reached the building that has to be my destination. Big, with parts that go off in all different directions. Near the front, there are two sections flanking the entrance. One is round and tan, while the other is made of darker stone and looks more blocky. A bit intimidating, but seeing a few people heading in and out is reassuring. Taking a breath to steady myself, I stride on out. The entrance has a huge glass ceiling, with glass doors that slide open when I approach them. I don't even have to pay or sneak in.
Whoa.
Whoa. Wow. 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 The moment I step inside, I can safely say that I've never been in a place like this before. It looks big from the outside, but from the inside, it's huge.
How am I gonna find the Korean exhibit?
I don't even know where to look first. Different paths lead to different types of displays, and I can see floors and elevators going all the way up to the top. A family walks by me, following a big arrow that points deeper into the building. Without any better ideas, I decide to take the same route. I'm sure I could ask someone where the exhibit is, but I'll look around on my own first. If I can't find it for a while, then I'll ask for help. I start to wonder about what's inside, looking for anything that I might recognize from Korea. To my surprise, there's plenty of other exhibits that also end up catching my eye. In one section, a variety of sea life, fish, turtles, and others hang from the wires above everything else. They look so lifelike that I think they're real animals at first, but after staring closely, I can see that they're just models. Another part of the museum is filled with skeletons of what look like giant monsters. I can't even imagine what kind of creatures they once were. Maybe dragons? Finding a panel with some illustrations, I skip over for a quick look. They aren't dragons, but they look awfully close. I've only seen a dragon once or twice in my life, but I've never seen one of these. Miho, we're just gonna gloss over this. I remember thinking the same thing the first time I played this. Like, Miho, dragons? Dragons real? I wonder if there's like a dragon fabled. Well, I'm just tripping all over my words today. Oh well. Whatever, right? Whatever. Other sections are dedicated to human and fabled civilizations. There are recreations of old human houses, as well as diagrams showing fairy homes and werewolf dens, plus plenty of others. The tour guide talks to a small group as I walk around, explaining this and that. I go slower through this part, feeling a little nostalgic. I even recognize some of the human technology and knickknacks from long ago. I had no idea they were old enough to be part of a museum now. There's even a big memorial to the war, showing humans and fabled fighting against one another. At the front is a painting of when the Peace Treaty was signed, which was the start of humanity and the fabled coexisting. I was around back then, but I stayed out of it, just like I stayed out of most things. Honestly, the history doesn't interest me too much, but I'm sure Juliet would love to see this. I'm sure she already has, at some point. Just when I'm thinking about giving up and asking for help, I finally find what I'm looking for. A large banner with some text that I recognize as Hangul, the Korean writing system, is hanging over a number of display cases and tabletop exhibits. I hurry over to get a closer look. Quieter up here than it was on some of the lower floors. I'm able to take my time browsing without feeling like I'm getting in anyone's way. I like that it faded out as soon as I read it's quieter up here. Because it is very much quiet. It is very quiet right now. At the same time, my heart starts to beat faster with anticipation. I may not know what I'm searching for, but I'm sure I'll know it when I see it. I start at the entrance and slowly make my way through. The first section is full of pottery and carvings, like the brochure ASPEN gave. There are little animals and people carved out of stone, and even a few made of metal. A number of clay pots. Oh, hi, Ada. How's it going? How's your evening going? A number of clay pots and vases sit on pedestals next to them. Most are cracked and damaged, but some look good as new. Moving on to the next part, there are a few intricate-looking outfits adorning mannequins. Some are just pants and a jacket. Most are visibly colored dresses that hang onto the floor. Wow, okay. Oh, wow. Some are just pants and a jacket, but most are vividly colored dresses that hang to the floor. I can almost feel the delicate silk in my hands. If I was still a thief, I bet these would sell for a lot. Hee-ho, crying fox. No. After the clothes are paintings. Tigers and birds are common subjects, but so are people and cities too. Others feature gorgeous landscapes and flowers. I've never been a big fan of art, but somehow these are different. Looking at them doesn't make me sad, but it makes me feel something. Like I'm wanting something I can't have. Suddenly it comes to me. Feeling I've heard about, but I don't think that I've experienced before. Homesickness. Painting of a green forest could be the one where I was born. I passed through towns that looked like those in the paintings, and hid from humans who looked like the ones shown inside them. Not all the memories are good ones. They're mine. There's not much I can relate to nowadays, in terms of people or places. I have friends now, sure, but I don't have much in common with them. That's never mattered before, but now... I wish I could reach out and touch the paintings before me, just to feel something from the same era as me. Of course, they're behind ropes, which keep me well back. I reluctantly start to move on again. Just as I do, a certain painting catches my eye. Small and displayed out of the way in the corner, as if nobody saw it was that important. The edges are jagged and torn, but the crucial part is still there. On one side, there's a fox surrounded by trees and leaves. Its fur is a different color from mine, but it's still clearly a fox. Just across from it is a human-like figure. She's dressed in an outfit similar to the ones I was admiring, but that's not what stands out the most to me. On her head are two pointy tails, and several long bushy tails peek out. On her head are two pointy ears, and several long bushy tails peek out from the bottom of her dress. When I look at the fox again, I notice that it also has more than one tail. I breathe in deeply, as if I could just inhale the scent of the forest from this artwork. Another... Miho? I take in all the details I can. She's smiling, but a smart thing makes her smile look sinister. The hand at her side has long claws instead of regular fingernails. Claws that are clearly meant for ripping. Whatever she's looking and smiling at is missing, being a part of the pointed section. There's just a small part that remains. A pair of boots on the ground, surrounded by the edge of what must be a pool of blood. Only then do I notice the blood around her lips and on the ground beneath her claws. And then the unmistakable bone-white bead hanging from a string around her neck, glowing like the moon. I instinctively raise a hand to my own neck, feeling my own bead. It's reassuringly warm to the touch. Somehow, I get the feeling that the one in the painting would be ice cold. This portrait of a Gumiho leaves me conflicted. There's the same longing I felt looking at the painting of the forest, but those claws and the blood, those feel foreign and detached. Is this how most people view Gumiho? It would explain the fear and terror that seemed to follow me whenever I went when I was younger. Curses and threats from farmers and townfolk wherever they saw me. It wasn't until after the war, when the fable became more common in human lands, that I felt comfortable without my ears and tail hidden. Even then, I'd sometimes get dirty looks just for existing. The threats were usually reserved for when I got caught stealing. Still, I've never been like the Gumio in this painting. Stealing is one thing, but hurting someone? That just isn't me. I wish I'd be able to explain that to them. I wonder how different my life would have been. I turn my eyes away from the painting, but I know that I'll be thinking about it for a long time to come. There's no point dwelling on what could have been. I passed through the rest of the Korean exhibit quickly, barely glancing at the artifacts I hadn't seen yet. It isn't until I've nearly left the gallery that I see something that makes me pause again. A small and unremarkable display among any other scrolls. No. In a small and unremarkable display case among many others, there are a number of delicate scrolls. On each one, a few old-style Korean characters are written. I don't think they're Hangul, but I don't know what they're called. They do look familiar, though. I left my own scroll back at home for safekeeping. I don't need it with me to compare. Sweep of the brushstrokes, shape of the characters, the shade of the ink. Closing my eyes and breathing in deeply, I swear I can smell them. My person. I press my hand against the glass. Closest I've been in hundreds of years. After centuries of looking, I finally... And we get to that part.
Hey, no touching!
Lady! I leap backwards and someone shouts. I look around and see a middle-aged woman wearing a badge and a museum t-shirt stalking towards me angrily. The instincts I thought I'd buried kicked me. It's time to run. Backing up, I look around for a getaway route, but there isn't one. I'm surrounded on almost all sides by cases. The only open direction is the one the attendant is approaching from. Think, Miho. Think. There has to be a way out of this. Could I jump over the displays? No, they're way too tall. Maybe if I transformed, I could get past the attendant. I have no idea how to navigate this building, though. Being a fox would attract way too much attention in places like this. I like that flywheel is playing in the background while Neo's just here, panicking. But wait for them to get close, then I could probably run right past them like the security guard when I first arrived in Wellington. Heart racing, my panic must show up on my face, because they stop a couple meters away from me, frowning.
Hey, it's not that big a deal. Just please keep your hands off in the future.
He sounds really young to be middle-aged. With a shrug, they turn around, leaving me alone. That's it? My hands are shaking as I watch them retreat, expecting them to snap around and come after me. Of course, that doesn't happen, and I'm very slowly able to relax. All I'm left feeling afterwards is a lot of embarrassment. Looking around, I'm glad that there aren't many people in this area. Nobody's looking at me either, whether out of politeness or because they just didn't notice. My face is burning red, and I look down at the scrolls again just to hide it. I sigh. Maybe it was silly of me to think that I could change myself entirely in such a short time. Considering I've just been remembering the old days and all the abuse that I went through from humans, it makes some sense. After I settle myself down a little, I turn my attention back to what's really important. While I know that these scrolls have to be for my person, they don't help me much on their own. There's a little card in one corner of the case, covered in text. Oh yeah, I remember. It might have something useful written on it, but that doesn't do me any good. I considered trying to copy it all down, have Aspen or Juliet read it to me there, but there's so many words that I'm not sure I could get them all. I gulp, looking over at the museum attendant who I was so scared of just a moment ago. I do have one option. Be brave, Miho. Be brave. Summoning all my courage, I approach them slowly. They're just a regular person, I remind myself. Like Aspen or Juliet. Or even like me now. Doing their job.
Excuse me?
I hope that's polite enough. Looks over to me. Her face doesn't look annoyed, more bored.
Can I help you?
I'm sorry for touching the glass. I was wondering if you could tell me a bit about those papers, like who wrote them.
Like I said, it's no big deal. It's just a safety precaution so nothing gets damaged.
Right.
Anyway, there's an informational plaque in the corner. It should have all those details.
Lady, I can't read! Would they even believe me if I said I can't read? I worry that make me even more suspicious.
Can't see very well, and the words are so small. Can you read it for me?
Oh, sure. Let's see.
There we go. Yeah. That was almost too easy. They don't question or analyze me at all, simply walking over and leaning in next to me.
Says here these were some of the first works by a calligrapher whose name was Jong-in in the 17th century. They were a scholar who lived in Korea and...
The attendant keeps reading, but I'm not listening. I've already gotten what I came for. The name. Jong-in. For the first time, I have something to call them. Something that's unmistakably theirs. I pretend to listen to the rest of what's being read out loud and thank the person on autopilot when they're done. My head's not here in the present moment. It's back in the forest where I was born.
정인.
Once they've walked away, I say it out loud, trying out how it sounds. I think it fits them.
정인. 정인.
Jongin. Jongin. I'm really good at saying Jongin. Jongin. I say it over and over again, making sure I never forget. Finally, I have something to go off. Feeling a little bit dazed from the enormity of the moment, I find my way downstairs and wander out of the museum. I can't wait to tell Juliet and Aspen. Yeah, we finally know what the traveler's name is. It's Johnny. Oh, stretchy. Stretchy. There we go. I'm so excited that I end up missing my turn to take me back to the library, lost in my thoughts about what will happen when I get there instead. I don't even realize that I've zoned out until I reach the edge of Mount Victoria, right where the city streets turn into parkland.
Oops. Good thing I can find my way back from here.
I'm still within the area visited before, so I'll be able to use the mountain as a landmark to find my way back. I hum to myself as I turn back, a buzz with pleasant thoughts. If I give Juliet my person's name, I'm sure she can help me track them down. That's what she specializes in, after all. Hang on a minute, I just realized something. Oh! Yeah! Oh my god, guys. We actually have a name, no, not name, age for, time period or something for Meemo. 17th century! Let's see, that would be what? 1600s? Yeah, 1600. That's still just him. Let's see. And there we go. Yep, that's still Joseon. Joseon. Yeah. Yep, that's it. That's the period. Interesting. Well, now we have an actual date. Or, well, an actual time period. You're an old little lady. You're a little old lady, Meemo. And I'm sure Aspen will want to hear all about their life, too. Love stories, and I'm sure Jong-in will have a ton. Not sure how they'll feel about seeing me again. I doubt they ever expected it to happen. They'll definitely be surprised that I'm not just the fox they met back then, but a person now. I have a feeling that they'll be at least as glad as I am. I may be halfway home before I realize that I'm not alone. The prickling sensation on the back of my neck is unmistakable. My instincts are telling me that someone else is nearby. Still near the mountain, but it's practically empty here. I can hear the sounds of other people in the distance, but they're all hidden by the trees and hills. I whip my head back and forth, but try as I might, I can't work out where they are. It's a strange and disconcerting feeling, given how easily I can pick up even the smallest animals. But then, from the corner of my eye, I spot a bush slightly shuffling. Just as I turn to take a proper look, the silver fox I saw the other day steps out of it.
Oh, it's just you.
I start to bend down and reach out a hand like I would to a pet dog, but hesitate. I know from experience that a fox wouldn't respond to that. Surprised she hasn't run away already. That's what I would have done. She stares at me without the slightest movement. Eyes locked on mine. My heart jumps as the hair on my back stand up. As the hairs on the back of my neck stand up. Something is off. Then, Without taking her eyes off of me, she starts to transform. I barely have time to be shocked as her arms and legs get longer and her fur retracts, head shrinking and changing into something more human-like. For the first time in my life, I'm face to face with another Gumiho. My throat tightens and goes dry. My vision narrows and my ears start ringing in shock, as if the world has fallen away except for me and her. Silver and black clothes she's wearing seem to shimmer in the moonlight, like the skin of a snake waiting to strike. Hanging loosely on her frame, the wrapped fabrics around her body and face make her appear almost formless. Her only accessory is a bracelet around her wrist. A plain leather band, but a shining white bead is held in the middle by another loop of leather. I recognize that bead. I have one just like it. Well, almost like it. Whereas mine is a duller milky color, hers is so bright that it almost hurts to look at. Soft blue glow around it reminds me of the full moon. It's almost like she stepped out of the painting I saw at the museum. A shawl covers most of her face, but her hair and eyes are still visible. Those intense eyes. Her gaze reminds me of steel. While they're the same shape as mine, they're sharper, angrier, crueler. She haughtily tosses her long flowing hair back as she takes a step towards me. I skip back, keeping the distance between us. When I lived in the forest, I knew when to flee when I met a predator stronger than I was. Better to get away alive than risk my life for pride. My survival instincts tell me that this is one of those times. The other Gumiho laughs, but there's no humor in it. Sharp and hollow, it only makes me more uneasy.
So, the human pet still knows when to run.
I forgot Dot voice to Silver too. I legitimately forgot.
The human... what? Pet. I've been watching you for a while. Ever since you came to this place, actually. Watched you demean and domesticate yourself for the sake of humans. It's pathetic.
How'd she get here, anyways? She does a fantastic job voicing both characters, right? She sounds so different when she's voicing Silver as opposed to Miho. I still think about the one brain cell thing when they talk about Miho. When they talked about voicing Miho.
When you first arrived, I was hopeful that we might be alike. Optimistic, even. I was a fool. I see you now for what you are. Nothing better than a dog, begging for its master's affection and table scraps. We are not the same. We are nothing alike.
Her words hang in the air, poisoning my good mood from just a moment ago. My first instinct is to run away as usual. Something stops me, though. I'm entranced. The novelty of this experience, of finally meeting another Gumiho, keeps me rooted in this place despite my fear. No matter what she's like, this is the closest I've ever been to someone like me. I swallow the lump in my throat and hope my voice doesn't shake as much as I think it will.
So what? Did you ambush me just to say that? Ambush? You should have known weeks ago that I was following you. But I repeat myself. You've numbed yourself to your instincts. And your potential. I saw you in that place of memories. Saw you gaze upon the portrait of one of our sisters.
How'd you get into the museum?
I hoped that you would open your eyes, as you haven't before. It pains me to see your existence do disservice to our very kind. Now that you have seen what you could and should be, perhaps you can still change yourself, dog. Sharpen your teeth and claws once more.
You're as much of a canine as we are, Silver. Don't kid yourself.
These creatures that you bind yourself to, those human and those not.
You look like humans.
They are but shackles, slowly squeezing away at which is wild and free in you. Do not mistake my words for sympathy or pity. I would see you gone from this place. But so long as you remain, your presence is an eyesore. It pains me to witness. Thus, I will do what I must to cure it, as unpleasant a task as it may be. You will never be one of them.
I was getting it.
No matter how much you might crave it.
I don't think
Better
I
to
don't think we can
embrace
call
what
this
you are
refreshable.
and can be. Anything else is a waste of your abilities.
She studies me for a moment longer, and then turns away. I feel like I should say something, but I can't find the words. Whether from shock or fear, I'm too dazed to so much as stand around in denial. Her clothes melt away into silver fur as she transforms back into a fox. I reach out to stop her, but she flits off and disappears into the darkness without a moment's hesitation. The world around me rushes back in, my skin suddenly feeling cold in the night air. The rush of emotions going through my head evaporates, and the adrenaline that was running through me ebbs away. I'm left just standing there, alone. Closing my eyes, I muster the strength that I haven't tapped into in weeks. My bead warms itself as I transform, my body following the same motions as the other Gumiho. I try to start chasing her, but my first steps on four legs are shaky. I've grown unfamiliar with this form, almost stumbling over just trying to move. Maybe there's a bit of truth in what she said. I take a few more steps towards the brush, but I soon give up. Even if I caught up to her, what would I say? What would I do? I'd only make a fool of myself. There's a scent on the wind that I couldn't notice as human, but is unmissable as a fox. I recognize it immediately, from a long time ago on one of my first mornings here. When I first woke up from my den near the mountain and stepped outside and knew that someone had been there. It was her. She really was following me from the beginning. For a long moment, I watched the place where she disappeared. Then I transformed back. I don't really feel like a fox right now. I don't know what I'm feeling. Some of what she said is true. I haven't used any of my talents in a long, long time. The clumsiness when I'm in my fox form, my own original body, is a reminder of that. But as for degrading myself for the sake of others, that doesn't feel true. I've spent my entire life feeling free and for only myself. It's always been my choice to remain here, and to not be forgotten. Why do her words sting so much? If I was totally confident in my decision, then they shouldn't bother me, right? Maybe I've forgotten more of myself than I know. The painting at the museum and the other Gumiho herself both prove that there's something different about me. Something that must come easily to everyone else. Same way all the aspects of daily life at home don't come easily to me either. I feel disconnected, torn between two worlds that I barely know, but can't help being drawn to. Where do I fit in? Where do I belong? I know what Juliet and Aspen would say, but does that make it true? Their home hasn't been my home for long. I've been a thief and a liar for so much longer than I've been whatever I am now. Without anything else to gain out there, I slowly start to make my way back home again. The excitement I felt about telling Juliet and Aspen everything I found at the museum has vanished. It'll have to wait for another time. After a quick walk through the empty streets to the library, I quietly sneak inside, trying to keep Juliet from noticing. I just don't feel like talking right now. It seems to work. I can hear... It seems to work. I can hear her bustling around somewhere, but she doesn't call out to me when I come in. Without a word, I ascend the stairs to my room as quickly and quietly as I can, and climb under the covers. Far too early to go to bed, but I don't know what else to do. If I'm awake, my thoughts will only be a bother. Better to sleep it off and hope that I feel better in the morning. Well then. We met Silver again. Woo! Coffee's cold. Yesterday's events, both the good and bad, linger in my mind while I perform my usual routine of tossing and turning in bed before I get up. Now that the shock's worn off, I feel a little better about what's happened. I wonder if I'll have forgotten all about the other Gumiho by the end of today. In fact, now that I think about it, it's possible that I've met other Gumiho before and just forgot about them. Everyone forgets meeting me, so maybe it works in reverse too. Rather than dwell on the idea, I choose to ignore it. There's no way to know. I just drive myself crazy wondering. Instead, I keep myself busy by making myself more presentable. Heading into the bathroom, I clean myself up using the soaps and shampoos given to me by Juliet. She's helped me so much since I started working here. Looking into the mirror for one final check before I head downstairs for breakfast, I can't help but think of what the other Gumiho said. How I've domesticated myself. My spotless face looks back at me, framed like fluffy and pampered hair. I can't deny that I've let myself be spoiled by others, content to just go along for the ride.
Snap out of it, Miho.
Lightly pat my face, like I've seen Aspen do sometimes when she's getting ready to start her own job. I'm not sure what it's supposed to accomplish, but it makes me feel a little bit more confident. There she is! I don't think we actually... Have we actually seen Juliet? Have we actually seen... Aspen... Yeah, I don't think we saw them. Heading downstairs, I'm treated to the familiar scent of fresh cut fruit and frying eggs, as well as the pleasant sound of Aspen and Juliet chatting about books. When I enter the kitchen, I'm greeted with 2 smiles.
Morning, Miho.
Morning, Aspen.
Good morning.
Good morning. Breakfast will be ready soon.
Cool.
I slide into my usual spot at the table and grab some apple slices, munching on those while waiting for the other 2 to go back to their conversation. Instead, both of them look at me expectantly.
So, how'd it go?
The museum?
Of course. What else?
Was everything all right? When I didn't hear from you last night, I was fearing the worst.
Oh, nah. It was fine. They even had what I was looking for. There were some more scrolls by my person.
Yeah! There's a loud clatter as Aspen jumps her fork in surprise. Even Juliet's eyes go wide with genuine shock.
There were?
Are you sure it was them?
Yep, definitely. I'd recognize that style anywhere. I learned a lot about them.
Yep.
Their name is Tongyin, and they're a
Tongyin.
scholar. I don't know what they study, though. The museum person didn't say.
For a long moment, there's silence, other than the sounds of eggs sizzling in the pan. Both my friends just stare at me, dumbstruck.
What are those looks for?
You seem awfully calm. I assumed you must not have found anything, or you'd have been back immediately.
Oh?
Yeah, well, there was some other stuff that happened too. I'll tell you about it some other time.
Oh. It's tempting to tell them about the Gumiho, if only because I know they'd reassure me about everything she said. But that's why I can't tell them. Not yet. In a way, I'd just be proving her right.
Well, alright.
You know, I remember this part. I was pretty much screaming at Miho to tell them about Silver. And now that I've gone through the story again, I have to wonder, maybe she is right. Maybe Miho does have a point, not telling them about Silver yet. I don't know. I'm still on the fence about it. Like, it's pretty important. Like, you want to tell somebody if you found another Gumiho. But still, I kind of get what she
We'll be here whenever you need us.
They're thinking we found out she. They're thinking we found out that Changyin passed away.
Thanks. Is breakfast ready?
Yes, just now. Here you go.
That's what those looks are. Okay. Never noticed that before. That's what they were kind of pensive about pensive about talking to us about. I can speak. I swear I can speak. That's why they were looking a little bit pensive about telling us. Juliet fills our plates and takes her seat, and we all dig in. Quieter meal with usual, with only the sounds of chewing and the silverware scraping against the dishes. I feel like Aspen and Juliet are having a conversation in their silence. Of course they'd expect more from me. I'd expect more from me too. And right after leaving the museum, I was that excited. I still am excited though, of course. Been tempered a little. I still plan to tell Aspen and Juliet help me get in touch with Jungin, but I want to wait until I can do it with a clear head. I wonder how they're gonna pull off that thing, you know? I wonder how they're gonna pull off in Aspen's. Because when the revelation come in for us, it was in Juliet's route about Cosette. I wonder how they're gonna do it this one. Once everyone's finished eating, I gather up the dirty dishes and take them to the sink, while Juliet washes the pans and Aspen wipes down the tables. Another routine morning.
I'll see you two later. Thanks for breakfast.
My pleasure, as always.
Bye!
Bye-bye. That Aspen politely takes leave and heads out the door. Juliet and I then go into the library, ready to start the day. Or end it, in her case. I head to my spot behind the front desk and begin getting everything ready. Check out sheets, my pens and pencils, my study materials, and so on.
Are you all set, Miho?
Yep, I've got everything I need.
Wonderful. Well, I'll leave you to it then. Have a good day.
Woo!
You too. Sleep well.
From the way Juliet lingered... Oh, hi Luis, how's it going? How's your morning going? Or afternoon, or whatever. From the way Juliet lingers halfway between me and the stairs, I can tell she wants to say something or ask something else. Thinks better of it, simply giving me a smile before heading up to her room. Sorry I'm very late. No worries, no worries. I think I'm gonna go for about another... half an hour, maybe? I think, well, I'm good for that. I whistle while I throw open the curtains and lock the door. By the time I've returned to the counter, ready for the first patrons to arrive, I even manage a light melody. Practicing my whistling a lot lately, as a way to spend time a while alone. Aspen tried to show me how, but she's not very good at it either. I'm pretty sure I'm already better at it than she is. The sound of it reminds me of the birds back in my home forest. Before long, patrons start to arrive, and I soon have a list of things to do. Books to check in and out, books to return, books to search for. Keeps me good and busy. What I miss, guys? I told the banana split story. I also have an interview tomorrow. Fuck. Oh yeah, and about the story. We just got out of the museum and met Silver. We did that. Yeah.
What else happened? I think that's about all that's happened so far. Yeah.
The hours pass by in blissful normalness, and I don't have a single thing to complain about. Oh, there we go. Got a Lena part. I kind of want to progress in this, so I'm gonna do something very uncharacteristic for me. Yeah, you're not gonna believe this at all. Come on. There we go. Yep. That's Lena's story. And then, what's next? Rainy Thursday morning, and the library is dead as I've ever seen it. Even Aspen didn't come by this morning, simply because she didn't want to get soaked. We'll see each other later instead. Why? Because I want to progress in the story. Besides, we've already read the Lena part. This is part of the Aspen route. Well, for side stories, I think we'll probably just as much as I seem hesitant about it, I want to just focus on Tommy's story since we haven't seen it yet. We'll see each other later instead. The only patrons here are the ones who don't mind the weather, so I have to make sure they don't drip on any of the books. Before she went to bed for the day, Juliet left a bundle of towels near the door for anyone who wants one. At least it makes my work easier, and the slow day means I have extra time to study. Oh, I see. I don't know, I just got here too. Dude, you've been here for like half an hour! You've been here for like a half an hour, dude. And the slow day means I have extra time to study. I'm able to remember most of the letters by now, and even read a few words. I haven't told Juliet or Aspen about my progress because I want to surprise them with it later. After about an hour or so, I set aside my pencil and gaze out the window with my chin resting on my palm.
Huh. It stopped.
Oh, I remember this part. Still cloudy outside, but the worst of the rain seems to be over. I get up and walk to the window, looking around at the soggy view. I leap backward in surprise as something suddenly splats against the glass in front of me.
Whoa!
Oh yeah, that's what happens between now and then. Huh? When do we get this thing? It's elemental time, guys. Let's go. The jellyfish is real, guys. At first, it looks like a puddle of water that's stuck to the window, but then it starts to wiggle. I stare in confusion as a pitiful-looking face forms in its middle, then frowns at me. Oh yeah, the slime bit. Yeah, I kind of forgot about it too, until now. Suddenly, it hits me what I'm looking at. This must be a water elemental. I've never seen one for myself before now. That's one sad-looking, you know those fries, the little hash brown fries with like the happy face fries, you know those? That's what this reminds me of. It's a very, very sad-looking sad face fry. They usually hang out in rivers or lakes, but I've heard they'll sometimes come out onto dry land when it's raining. That must be what this one did. Now that it stopped raining, though.
Oh no, you could dry up.
Just like a fire elemental can die if its flames go out. A water elemental like this could be in trouble if it doesn't stay wet. The weather might still be damp, but the sun is starting to poke through the clouds. Yes, that is actually exactly what this looks like. Right? I don't know what they're called, though. I don't know what those little fries are called. I'm not even, like, 100% sure they're actually fries. They're like chicken or something?
Okay. Wait right there. I'll go find something.
I don't know if it can understand me, or even hear at all, but I wave at the window and hold one finger up to show that I'll be right back. After a quick peek to make sure there's no patrons waiting, I hurry to the kitchen and dig through the cabinets, hoping to find a pot or something that's big enough. The biggest one Juliet has is the one that she uses to make pasta, and even that might be too small. Plus, I'm not sure if she'd want the taste of water elemental to be there every time she tries to make spaghetti. I'm remembering the later part when Miho makes spaghetti. I'm remembering that.
Where else?
Okay, keep an eye on that. I could just wake Juliet up and ask her, but I should really try to solve this before swabbing her. Instead, I start hunting through the other rooms for something that might help. There's nothing in the bathroom, nor in the library area. When I check the dining room a second time, however, I notice a big bowl on top of a shelf that I hadn't seen before.
Perfect.
Yes, the spaghetti that reached the heavens. Literally. I have to stand on one of the chairs to reach it, but I grab the bowl and fill it half full with tap water before hurrying back to the window. Alright, I gotta step out for a meeting. I'll be back in an hour if you're still alive. Okay. I'll probably be gone for about 30 more minutes, so I hope you have a good day. The elemental is still stuck there, like a very sad bumper sticker. It already looks a little smaller, but it ripples with excitement when it sees me, its frown shifting into a watery smile. I head out the front door and skip around to the window, squelching through the wet grass as I go.
Here you go. Come on.
Holding the bowl up to the window, I gently brush the elemental in. To my surprise, it doesn't feel like touching regular water. Instead, it's thicker and a bit sticky, like jelly. The elemental starts to slide into the bowl in bubbles, which I hope is a good sign. It doesn't mix with the water in the bowl, but instead kind of hovers, with water both above and below it. When it gets itself fully into the bowl, it almost fills it up. Water sloshes over the edge and onto my hands, leaving the bowl almost dry except for the elemental itself. Bubbles stop, and an uncertain-looking face peers at me from the bottom.
Alright. Let's get you inside and figure something else out.
I hold the bowl back as steady as I can, and try not to spill anymore as I go back into the library. Just like the guests at the library, I had to make sure not to get any books wet. There's an empty side table near one of the reading chairs, so I set the bowl down there. The elemental seems fine for now, but it looks worried again. It reminds me a lot of Aspen. I'm trying to imagine slime spin. Would you love me if I'm a slime? Would you love me if I was a slime? Would you still love me if I was a slime? That's Scottish. No, that's Irish. Wait, what? Would you love me if I was a slime? I can't do an Aspen impression, I don't think.
I'm not sure what else
I mean...
to try.
I racked my brain trying to think of something that I might have missed in the bathroom or kitchen.
Wait! That bathroom! That's it!
Kneeling down in front of the bowl, I tried to reassure the elemental, which is doing its best to stay absolutely still and not slosh.
Okay, don't go anywhere.
Yeah, I can do lots of things with you. What do you mean? Why are you being sussy? Did I say something sussy?
If you even can.
Running to the bathroom, I plug up the bath and set the faucet to max.
This ought to work for a bit.
Leaving the water running, I go back and retrieve the bowled elemental. This time, I end up spilling more of the water, but luckily it only hits the ground. Oh no, Luis. Don't do that to Slimerman. Wait a minute. No, not Slimerman. Slime Spin. Slime Spin. The tub is about half full by the time we get back, which should be at perfect. I turn off the faucet and carefully pour the elemental in. I don't know, did you say something sussy? No, I did not! I did not! I don't know why we're being sussy today.
How's that?
There's a stream of excited bubbles.
Cool. Sit tight, and I'll find something we can use to get you back to the river.
More bubbles. Quickly, but not in as big a rush as before, I go to resume my search on the second floor. Because this place is so big, there are still a few rooms that I've never seen. I'm pretty sure Juliet wouldn't mind me going in, since I'm trying to help someone out. Maybe not, maybe don't. The first room I try, closet, filled with towels and bedsheets and laundry stuff. The room after that is locked.
That's weird.
But Ada, imagine how fun it will be. If I was a slime, I'd eat you. I'd dissolve you. I tried the knob again, in case it was just stuck.
Nope, definitely locked.
I wonder what's in there. I've never paid much attention to that door before since it's so far from my room. I drop to all fours and try to see under the door, but it's too narrow to see anything. Another door nearby isn't locked, and even better, isn't a closet. Aside from the doorway, which isn't particularly bright, it's pitch black when I step inside. I flick on the light switch, but the bulb fizzles and dies right away. Slime, jelly, cylinder... Hey, what are you seeing? It only takes a moment for my eyes to adjust to the darkness. And what had, at first just been dark smudges turned out to be a bunch of boxes and assorted junk. So, yeah, Limbo's a cylinder, remember? You guys are the one having sus thoughts, guys! I'm not to blame for this! A storage room. The whole place is covered in dust. I guess Juliet doesn't come in here either. Peeking into one of the boxes, it's filled with old kids' toys like dolls and stuffed animals. Another one has some folded up clothes. Just as I'm about to give up and try another room, a half-covered object in the corner catches my eye. A heavy blanket is draped over a glass box, which is full of more random junk. I haul it all out and remove the blanket, smiling at the find. It's a big fish tank, just like the ones I saw at the museum.
Score!
After turning it over to shake out as much of the dust and debris as I can, I triumphantly take the tank to the kitchen sink to rinse it out before hauling it to the bathroom. I'm sorry, it's the synthetic injected hormones. Yes, you are. You're the first to think in sussy. I thought you guys were being sussy. Hang on. For once, I'm not the one to blame. I'm not the one to blame, guys. When I set the tank on the edge of the tub, the elemental floats up to the top of the bath and ripples. It takes some maneuvering to hold the tank under the faucet, but eventually I'm able to figure it out and fill it up. Then I use the bowl from before to scoop up the elemental and dump it into the tank.
Perfect, right?
More ripples and bubbles.
Okay, let's get you to the river.
Yeah, it's river time, guys! I'm Jeremy Wade. No, it's... I'm Jeremy Wade. 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 And this is Rivermont. And nearly tear my arms off.
That's heavy.
Ahriman is always says. Yeah, I guess I am. I guess I am. I guess I am. But you guys are also being sussy right now. You are being so sussy. Why are you guys... What happened, guys? Why are we being sussy today? Huh? I didn't notice when I was just getting the tank set up, but with all that water in it, it weighs a ton. It's way too heavy for me to carry out to the front door, much less all the way to the river.
This could be a problem.
It seems so perfect, so lucky. Even after dumping out some of the water, I still can't carry it. I don't know, you tell me. You start all this. No, I didn't! You're... Hang on, I'm pulling up receipts. I'm pulling up receipts. I mean, yeah, I can do lots of things with you, Lush. Oh wait, oh, that's Ada saying that. Yeah, I can do lots of things with you, Lush. Oh no, Louise, don't do that to Slime Red. Yeah, you two were the ones being sussy, guys. You two were the ones being sussy, not me. Not for once. For once in this entire thing, I'm not the one being sussy. I mean, I have sussy thoughts, but I'm not the one being sussy. I'm not. I'm not. Even after dumping out some of the water, I still can't carry it. I'm not sussy. I'm not. Oh, hi, Mark. Or something. Sitting down on the tile floor, I sigh. I think it was when... Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, I was trying to do an Aspen impression. Oh, let's see. What's something that Aspen says? Let's see if the log has any answers for me. No. And it's just... Oh, wait. Options. Voice. Oh, good.
Novels, of course. My personal favorites are Austen and Eliot, but the current book I'm reading is so wonderful. It's... oh, I'm sorry. I don't want to get carried away.
I lost track of all of that. But I was talking about playing volleyball with the slime of the ball or something. That would be fun. No, the fuck you weren't! The fuck you weren't! And you said, would you love me if I was a slime? You were the one with... No, I wasn't. No, I wasn't. No, I wasn't. No, I wasn't. No. I'm not the one to be blamed. I'm not gonna be the one blamed today. No way. Nuh-uh. Okay, let's see if I can do it.
Go on. As for other... and also... spending time with you. And Juliet in the library.
Aspen. Okay. You know, when I first played through Please Be Happy, I sort of just took Aspen's words at face value, but now afterwards, on my second playthrough of Please Be Happy, I'm starting to see patterns here. And also spending time with you. And Juliet at the library. No, that's not it.
Novels, of course. Go on. Oh, well, and also spending time with you.
Spending time with you.
And Juliet in the library.
And Juliet in the library. It's okay, we're all pleasant sus. For fusking Slightly. And also spending time with you. And Juliet at the library. No, I can't do a Kiwi accent. Why not?
Novels. And also novels.
But
Go on. And also novels, of course. Go on. And also novels, of course. My
there's a line here that
Austen and Eliot, but as for and also Novels, of
Hey,
course.
hey, I
My
see that.
personal
I
favourites
saw
are
that.
Austen and Elliot, but the current
I'm
book
gonna
I'm
have to go
reading
through the
is
VOD,
so
like, frame by
wonderful.
frame.
It's... oh, I'm sorry. I don't want to get carried away.
I don't want to get carried away. Novels, of course.
I like running around as a fox.
My pleasure. If you'd like.
Novels.
Oh, that's what it was.
Pulling
That's
off
what
a
it was. I think.
heist is fun. The
Hang
best
on, let's-
part is getting home with treasure in hand.
Oh, you know what it was? I think it's this. Let's try that.
Go. As Andor. Novels.
Uh-huh.
Novels. And novel.
Okay.
No. As for
Yeah, I think
other
it's-
things, the feeling of caffeine.
It's that.
Finding
It's that.
its way
It's
into
that.
my
It's this thing
bloodstream
right
to
here,
get me
isn't it?
through each
It's that.
day. The more the better.
The more the better. Okay, let's finish this storyline. Sitting down on the tile floor, I sigh. The elemental floats dejected.
Miho? What's going on? I heard the sinks and bathtub running.
Juliet is standing in the doorway as I look up, wearing a look of concern on her face.
Hey!
Hi, Juliet.
It was raining earlier, right? Well, there was this water elemental on the window. I tried to bring it inside so it wouldn't dry up while I worked out how to get it back to the river, but now I can't carry this huge fish tank that I found.
A fish tank? Where'd that come from?
It was in one of the storage rooms, along with a bunch of kid stuff.
Oh shit,
I'm
really?
guessing they
Wait a
came
minute.
from the library's children's section.
Juliet purses her lips, and I feel my heartbeat start to quicken like it always does when I'm in trouble.
Sorry if you didn't want me to go in there. I didn't know what that room was or what I was even looking for until I found the tank. I didn't look inside the locked room, though.
Juliet's frown deepens, but it doesn't look like she's angry. More like she's... bad?
No need to apologize. You've done nothing wrong. Although...
I wait for her to finish her sentence, but it doesn't happen.
Although...
Never mind. It's nothing. Let's focus on helping our friend here first.
Into the tank and scoops out a handful of the water before dripping it back onto the floating elemental. The creature seems to enjoy it, as far as I can tell.
Any ideas?
An idea comes to mind after you mentioned that storage room. I'll be right back.
Okay.
I sit back and relax just as Juliet departs. I'm glad she didn't get upset after all, but something was definitely bugging her. I wonder what it was. After a couple minutes, I pick up the sound of something rolling down the stairs. I stand up and poke my head out the door and spot Juliet pulling a red wagon behind her. I'm gonna have to hold tight. There we go. Oh wait. Oops, I forgot to read that. After a couple minutes, I pick up the sound of something rolling down the stairs. I stand up and poke my head out the door and spot Juliet holding a red wagon behind her. It has a rope handle and it isn't very large, but should have more than enough space for the take.
Whoa! You're a genius!
With a smile, Juliet parks the wagon next to the bathtub.
As I said, you were the one who gave me the idea. Would you mind helping me lift it onto the wagon?
Sure.
Sure.
We each take one end and carefully move the tank. Juliet also brought a number of tight straps to help it keep it in place. Once it's all set up, the elemental is safe and secure. I kneel down to get my face level with the glass.
How do you like that?
This time, the elemental shifts into the biggest grin I've seen.
Looks like we've got a winner.
Wonderful. If I watch the library, would you mind taking it back home? You're welcome to borrow an umbrella.
No problem. Be back soon.
Taking a towel and umbrella for myself from the front door, I lead the elemental outside and onto the path. Cloudy out and more gray than blue, but at least it's not raining right now. Still, I don't want to waste any time.
Is anywhere in the river okay?
The elemental bobs up and down.
I know just the place then.
The muddy path slows down the wagon a bit, but it isn't too bad. When you go downhill, I have to be careful not to let it out of control, but other than that, it's pretty easy. From the bottom of the hill, it's not too far from the spot I had in mind. I noticed a small abandoned ramp into the river way back when I was still living in the woods.
Don't know why anyone built this place, but it sure worked out for me.
It wasn't useful to me then. Kneeling near the bottom of the ramp, I wrapped the wagon's rope around my wrist to keep it from rolling away, then undo the straps on the tank. With both hands, I gently tilt the tank onto its side. The water and elemental spill out, flowing down the dirty concrete and into the river. Water begins to churn immediately, bubbling as if something huge is coming to the surface. Rushing sound echoes around the empty area before a torrent of water suddenly shoots upward like a fountain, arcing clear over me. As I look up, I see the elemental shimmering with the water, catching the light from the sun. For one brief moment, the most beautiful, vivid rainbow I've ever seen hovers before me, so close that I could touch it. Then the water and the elemental crash back into the river, and everything goes still. Right? It is so pretty. I smile, certain that I understand.
You're welcome.
Okay. Well, you don't have any side stories? Or, well... I mean, we do have side stories, it looks like, but not really... What would you even call them? Like, side stories feels... Side stories doesn't feel, like, important enough for the little mini chapters. I don't know. Anyways, I think I'm gonna call it a day for now. I have things to do today. Somewhat. I'm probably gonna actually go look at a candidate for a new car. Finally. And maybe when I come back, I'll have a follow-up. I don't know. Oh, did I believe you a little too much? Nah, it's fine. I might be back today. I have no idea. I do remember seeing that I stream a little bit early for some people. So I want to kind of vary my stream times now. I'm not sure how I'm gonna do that with my work schedule, you know. So, as they usually have me closing, don't know what I'm gonna do about that. I might try to stream. Yeah, you should go do it, dude. Try it. Really fun. I'm having a good time. But with that, just to prove that my PC can't handle it. Hey, my PC is kind of shit. If my PC can stream on Wi-Fi, yours can too, probably. Hopefully. Fingers crossed. Anyways, I'm gonna call this a day. Everyone, have a good day, a good afternoon, or a good evening, wherever you are. This has been your Demon King of Heretics, Ahriman le Méchant. I bid you adieu. Bye, Ahriman. Bye, Ahriman.